What it do? This is your brother Bishop of Bishop Zone TV in California. They did it, y'all. They did it. Woo! California introduces first in nation slavery reparation package. Let me tell y'all again. Let me repeat this. California introduces first in nation slavery reparation package. Let's get that van. Let's get that van, Martha. And we moving to California. We getting our reparations. Hold up. Wait a minute. Slow down. Right here, it says the set of bills notably excludes direct cash payments. Huh? What? Yes. Your black ass will not be getting cash payments. And these policies that's going to be introduced in the first in nation slavery reparations package, it's not a guarantee that they will get those policies passed either. So let's read this article from Politico.com and let's break this thing down because I got a lot to say about this. So there's a picture of the California Reparations Task Force members, some of the members. And I'm not finna talk down on these individuals. I'm just giving you the facts. You have Senator Stephen Bradford. You have Secretary of State Shirley Weber. Then you have the task force member Lisa Holder and Assembly member Reggie Jones Sawyer. And they smiling and beguiling. Like look at this progression. And I guess it is progression considering where California and America was in their response to reparations to begin with. So I guess it's progression, but let's read this article right here. California state lawmakers introduced a slate of reparation bills on Wednesday, including a proposal to restore property taken by race-based quotations, cases of eminent domain, and a potentially unconstitutional measure to provide state funding for specific groups, quote unquote. The package marks a first in the nation effort to give restitution to Black Americans who have been harmed by centuries of racist policies and practices. California's legislative push is the culmination of years of research and debate, including a 111 pages of recommendations issued last year by a task force. Other states like Colorado, New York, and Massachusetts have commissioned reparation studies or task forces, but California is the first to attempt to turn those ideas into law. The 14 measures introduced by the Legislative Black Caucus touch on education, civil rights, and criminal justice, including reviving a years-old effort to restrict solitary confinement that failed to make it out of the State House as recently as last year. Not included is any type of financial compensation to descendants of Black slaves, a polarizing proposal that has received a cool response from many state Democrats, including Governor Gavin Newsom. Let me read that part one last time. Not included is any type of financial compensation to descendants of Black slaves, a polarizing proposal that has received a cool response from many state Democrats, including Governor Gavin Newsom. While many only associates direct cash payments with reparations, the true meaning of the word to repair involves much more. Assemblymember Lori Wilson, chair of the caucus, said in a statement, "We need a comprehensive approach to dismantling the legacy of slavery and systemic racism." This is Assemblymember Lori Wilson saying this, by the way. I want y'all to read that again, because I need y'all to get this loud and clear. While many only associate direct cash payment with reparations, the true meaning of the word to repair involves much more than cash payments. The package does have a provision that would give some monetary relief. The proposed bill, authored by State Senator Stephen Bradford, a Democrat from the Los Angeles area, deals with property takings. It would restore property taken during race-based uses of eminent domain to its original owners or provide another effective remedy where appropriate, such as restitution or compensation. Like that small patch of beach that used to be black owned in California, but now it returned to the family. But does it really matter when the location of that beach is surrounded by affluent white people? I'm just saying. Black lawmakers are already anticipating an uphill battle. They anticipate spending many hours to educate fellow legislators and convince them to pass the bills. Damn. Some of the measures could also run into legal trouble. Democratic Assemblymember Corey Jackson, who represents a district north of San Diego, is proposing asking voters to change California's constitution to allow the state to fund programs aimed at increasing the life expectancy of improving educational outcomes for or lifting out of poverty specific groups based on race, color, ethnicity, national origin, or marginalized gender, sexes, or sexual orientations. Hallelujah. That plan could face a similar constitutional challenge like the one that ultimately dismantled affirmative action. Other proposals include protections for natural and protective hairstyles in all competitive sports, and a formal apology by the governor of legislature for the state's role in human rights violations and crimes against humanity on African slaves and their descendants. The caucus will flesh out the package in the coming weeks. So I can guarantee you, matter of fact, I can bet you some money that the only proposals that probably will get passed within the next 2 to 5 years is the protective policy for natural hairstylists or hairstyles, where you can have locks and cornrows in competitive sports and in the schools. That'll probably get passed, that policy. And also an apology. The apology probably will be the first thing that gets passed. Like, yeah, we can apologize to you Negroes. Yes, we apologize as Californians for our role in slavery. Granted, I wasn't born during slavery, but I can apologize on behalf of my ancestors, even though they immigrated here after slavery was dismembered and dismantled here in this country. But I'm going to apologize anyway. You happy? Now that I apologize, you all can be successful and you can progress all throughout the state of California. Y'all, last year, I made a video on my channel entitled 11 Cities for Reparations. Not so fast, FBA, ADOS, in quotations. Then I said, truth about, quote unquote, reparations. Truth about, quote unquote, reparations. A lot of people came in my neck. A lot of people were optimistic. I see Tone Talks. He made a video about this law, or this California reparations bill being introduced into the state. He was pissed off. And I just got to say, how come you didn't see this coming? Y'all didn't see this coming? I told you so. I told you so last year. I told y'all. I told FBA and ADOS, you're not getting reparations. You're not getting reparations. Just think about it. You think America is going to give your black ass reparations? Reparations? You think they're going to give y'all cash payments? You think America is going to give black people enough cash payments to uplift themselves out of poverty, to uplift themselves out of a blue-collar class society? Huh? You think America is going to uplift your ass to an affluent class bracket? You think so? America, we talking America. Hello? Is this thing on? So let me get this straight. You mean America. America, the land that enslaved Africans, that enslaved your people. You mean to tell me that America was the ones to give you reparations? We talking about the same America that created a COINTELPRO that dismantled progressive black groups that were put in place for the betterment of the black community because America, the country, would not provide food, resources, and a helping hand to ensure that black Americans have the same equal rights as their white counterparts. That America. Are we talking about the same America that turned a blind eye shortly after Reconstruction, where hundreds of black citizens all across America were being terrorized, villainized, and homes, neighborhoods completely destroyed, bombed, and burned? If you think Tulsa, Black Wall Street was the only prosperous black neighborhood that was destroyed in America, then you haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying fucking attention at all. We talking about that America. It was a long time ago. The same America that hired government agencies to infiltrate progressive black organizations, black individuals with a high influence to progress the conditions of black America. That same America, the same America that allowed a system called Jim Crow that segregated people on the color of their skin. We talking about the same America that allowed terror to reign in a region of their country where 90% of black Americans lived in the 1900s, that forced millions of black folks to migrate from the southern region, where the majority of us were, to northern and western states all across this country. That same America. You mean to tell me that same America was gonna give y'all black asses money? Why? Because it's 2021. The same goddamn America where you have to march and shout and protest that your lives matter just as much as everybody else. That same America. The same America where 1,000 white men, and it was other groups of people, but majority of them were white men, stormed the Capitol on January 6th. This was recent. That same America was going to give your black ass reparations. When this stuff was popping off, Yvette, Cornell, and Tone Talks was bragging about California acknowledging their reparations plan. They were bragging about it. We almost there. They were on social media. We almost there. We gaining real momentum. We gaining momentum. Niggas, really? Y'all bought this shit. Y'all were telling me I'm a hater. That Pan-African shit ain't working out. That Pan-African shit ain't gonna work. And now y'all mad with Tone Talks. Now y'all pissed off. See, I'm not upset. Why would I be upset at a dog for biting me when I know what a dog does? If the sign says beware the dog, then goddamn it, beware the fucking dog. See, black Americans are dying just to be on equal footing with white Americans. The problem with that is other groups of people have moved past black Americans. Immigrants who maybe just been here in the last 10, 20 years. There are plenty of immigrant groups in this country now that have positioned themselves in a more influential space, not culturally, not in the form of music, but in the form of economics, have positioned themselves on a higher bracket, a higher tier in this country than black Americans who have been here since the 1700s, the 1600s. before it was an actual country, when it was colonies, when it was the British colonies. What does that say about Black Americans? I'm not saying that this is entirely Black America's fault, but the state that the collective group of Black people are in this country is a state of insanity. Because you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again, expecting different results. There's really, in my opinion, only two options for Black America collectively. Not individuals, but collectively. What you need to do is option number one. Go watch Charles Blow, South to Black Power. Watch that and really consider migrating back to the South, specifically to 9 southern states. These 9 southern states have the highest Black percentages in all of America. Because if you move to these states, if enough Black people move to these states will eventually become Black majority states. And then you could probably gain enough power to work in Black Americans' favor within that state, where you could possibly approve and pass a reparations plan that will compensate the descendants of enslaved Africans. That's option one. Option two is to move out of America. It's to move out of America. That's the other option. And I'm not just saying move to Africa, but you should really consider moving to other countries that have a better quality of life than here in America, and where you may not have the economic opportunity to gain as much capital as you would here in America, but you can at least have a better lifestyle, better life expectancy, less stress factors in other first world countries, or even, I guess, second world or third world countries, whatever you see fit. Go where you can grow. Go where you can be happy. Those are the only options for Black Americans. America is at a point right now where things are changing. Things are getting more expensive. Some people, or a significant amount of Americans, feel like that American culture, American society is on a decline. That's not just Black people, that's just people across the board. You also have a migrant crisis right now. You also have the possibility of Trump being reelected, which scares the living bejeebus. That's what I meant to say. The bejeebus out of Black folks. You can't afford to be stagnant right now. You can't afford to be just when election time comes around. Come on, we gotta vote for Biden again, because the worst possible outcome has happened in America with the Democratic Party. Trump has a real chance of being reelected as the president of the United States, and that has nothing to do with Black people not voting. It's because Biden, under Biden's administration, Americans, Black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever, but a significant amount of Americans feel like the country has gotten worse. I'm not saying that that's Biden's fault. I'm not saying that that's Trump's fault. If you know me, if you follow my channel, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I don't vote for either party. I'm against a two-party system, and I feel as though Black people should be voting from a ethno-political stance. They should be voting for an ethno-political stance, from a ethno-political stance, bipartisan. America is going to change. I'm not saying it's changing for the better. I'm not saying it's changing for the worse, but things will change, and that will impact Black America collectively. If Black America's last hope was this reparations bill that was supposed to pass in California, and hopefully it makes its way all across America, then you wasted your time. Tone Talks and Yvette Cornell wasted y'all time. I want y'all to understand that. They wasted y'all time. And look what happened. You got nothing to show for it. You can cry, you can bitch, and you can complain, because that's what a lot of people on Tone Talks videos doing right now. That's what Tone Talk made, a 1-hour video bitching and complaining about the news that dropped, when this silly ass should have known from the get-go it wasn't going to work. How come I knew it wasn't going to work? How come I knew they wasn't going to pass that damn bill? How did I know? Come on. You cannot be that optimistic when you're Black in America. Instead of panic, plan it, as Dave Chappelle said. So, sorry. I mean, and one last thing. Did niggas really think that California was gonna approve a cash payment reparations bill when, one, they can't keep black people in California? I exposed this last year. The black population in California is on a decline, and it's on a continuous decline. Black people collectively are at a disadvantage when it comes to economics, capital. So we can't keep up with those prices. We will be forced to move from places like California and New York, all these expensive states and cities. That's why I was like, how can these cities, majority of these cities that are promising a reparations bill, which they never said cash payments, but how are they going to fulfill the promise of giving black people reparations? And that's your reparations right there. I called this shit. I called it. Which I'm not bragging about that. It's really sad, honestly. It's sad that black people are so gullible to think that America would do right by them. I feel sorry for y'all more than anything. I'm not smiling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my lady. Hello, my good time. All right, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Really, this is not a laughing matter, but y'all need to wake the hell up. Wake up. Get your Folgers. It's in your cup. America does not give a fuck. Holla.